Okay, so I'm working on a project right now to create interactive thumbnails for websites. I'm doing this because I feel like everyone is producing websites and content, and it's just something that I haven't seen before. I'm really curious to see how people would receive it. The idea I came up with was taking a photo, breaking it up into different layers, and then taking all those layers into After Effects, creating a 3D scene with them, adding a 3D camera, and animating the camera to create almost like a parallaxing effect between the layers of the photo, so that it just adds an element of like pause when somebody sees it, because they're like, what the hell is this? And so this is the process that I went through, and throughout the video I'll explain certain segments and stuff and keep it short so that it doesn't run too long. Here's the process I went through. I explain the segments and time-lapse the work so that it doesn't take too long, and it's a pretty cool result. Okay, so we just finished up, and basically what we did was we cut each layer into its own thing. So I used this as the background, and I just kind of blur it out. So, and I can increase the blur in After Effects if I need it. The top layer is going to be just this, the second layer, third, and fourth. And you could chop it up into 10 layers, or you could chop it into 2 layers. Really, it's just the amount of work that you want to put into it. And I feel like 4 is good enough to get the look that I'm going for. I kind of just want a little bit of a parallax effect, just so when you look at it, it doesn't look like this. This is just like a static image. But if everything is just kind of shifting ever so slightly, I think that starts to be really cool. So it's at this point, I load everything, all the images that we made into After Effects, start assembling them so that they're in position for the 3D camera. Then I take the 3D camera and animate it from left to right. You could literally animate it any direction you want. I just chose left to right. And then this is what we get. Okay. I'm kind of happy with it. Like, I'm not trying to spend all week doing this, but I think as a first time little project. So I guess I should preface this. This is for the website for Pop. It's just an idea to make things more interactive. If you were going to a weed website and you wanted to educate yourself on what the bud for Banana Kush looks like, or Banana OG, then you could see a really detailed bud and really get in close or come far based on your mouse position. That's how I would do it. And or just a little bit of a parallax in the picture, so that if you move your mouse one way, the image kind of goes the opposite way, but just ever so slightly. Not enough to distract or like ruin anything, but to create curiosity, to explore the image a little bit more, because of the parallax, I think it's more interesting to look at. And then that's the point, right? Is to draw someone in to really look at this plant, because the plant is incredible. It has all these terpenes all over its surface, and it has such a beautiful structure, and the colors and just the way that it grows is so cool to look at. And not to mention the effects of this plant are mind altering. I love it. It's energy altering. Something I notice about myself is whenever I have just a normal day and I got things to do and like whatever, I'll do them. Like, I'm not lazy, like I work hard. But my thought patterning behind what I'm doing is that I'm kind of just going through the motions. Like, I know I have to do this, so I do it, and it becomes really bland, boring. And I find that when I smoke weed, it just allows me to spend the mental energy on thinking about things that I would never do if I wasn't high. And the net effect of that in my life has literally been, I exercise every day, I creatively express myself, I really try to, when I do things, do them with reason and purpose. I'm doing this parallax effects entirely because I love the plant so much, and I know a lot of other people love the plant so much. And if Pop's website shows this level of craftsmanship and beauty and really focuses on that, then he'll attract the attention of people that care about those things. And then you really get to be with the people you want. And he's a craftsman, like the way that, like, my dad is a craftsman. He was a mason for like 40 years. But the thing that I love about him so much is that from the moment he wakes up until the moment he goes to sleep, barring energy, because if he's tired, he'll be a bag of shit just like all of us. He's just working at something. He's diligently going through every detail of what he does, and there's a reason for it and why. And my goal is to capture that so other people can see and buy his products, because I promise you, nobody cares about the product himself. Like, from growing the weed, from picking, from drying, like the whole process, and then taking that into the digital space is where he gets lost. And so I really just wanted to help him figure this out. So yeah, basically we took the image, put it into Photoshop. We cut out all the little details. We cut it out in layers, and then we took those layers and exported them individually. We brought them into After Effects. We layered them, created a 3D camera, and shifted the perspective in how we're looking at it. And now the next step going forwards is gonna be to take the file, and I have to figure out what file it's gonna be, and we'll make that into something that can go onto the website, that can interact with somebody's mouse in a parallaxing way, so that it can just be a little bit more interesting. And that's it. See you, nerd.